be checking back in. We were done recording, but the conversation that was happening behind scenes, we had to get back in front of the scene and record this conversation. We left off behind scenes talking about ways for parents and children to communicate, to talk about sensitive things like sexual assault. No one wants to hear, imagine, or think of their child being put in a position as such. To be touched or to have your child being touched by anyone, loved one, friend, someone you trust, is devastating. So we had Miss Mari who shared her testimony about sexual assault that happened within her family. And we have a parent as well, Miss Jada. She asked the question about how can I allow myself, or what can I do to show that my child can trust in me and feel free to tell me if something like that happened. And I'll let them continue with their answer. I just want to get back here and
behind the camera,
man, let this be talked about, because it needs to be talked about.
Definitely be addressed. So I was saying that it's the communication, like the way you talk to your child to make her feel or him feel comfortable coming to you. Because if you're just hooping and hollering, yelling, they're gonna be like, well, I can't tell her she was mad, she don't fuss at me, but it's not my fault. So it took me a long time. Like, so many black families deal with what I'm dealing with, and it's sad.
They sweep it under the rug.
But I will make sure that it's not a repeating cycle. Now I'm
break the cycle.
a mom. Like, who my daughters by? You know, I be telling my kids' fathers, it's like, I don't care if they're like your uncle, cousin, I don't know them.
Right.
So I need to see them. And he be feeling some type of way, but he don't understand how I feel. Because it happened to me. You can't trust everybody.
And I think just even as a mother, as a parent, like at a young age, I taught my daughter her body parts. Like, this is what can't be touched. That type of thing. Because like, and I'm gonna be honest, like I randomly ask questions because my child, she is a great communicator. So like sometimes when she do stuff when I wanna holler, I'll be like, I'm not gonna do it. Because I don't want her to ever feel like this is not her safe space. Like I wanna be her safe space. I never want nobody else to have to come tell me, well, this one happened with Nala, so I need to tell you this. Like I just wanna be her safe space. And I've known this to happen in families, you know, where they just sweep it under the rug because that's what they did back in the day. Let's just be honest. Oh, uncle did it, we don't do it no more, uncle. And then it just swept under the rug.
Don't talk about it because it's embarrassing.
Yeah,
shame.
Because it's uncomfortable.
It's shame on a family.
It's shame on y'all that no one wants to address it. And I think that's the problem because it's a topic that's so uncomfortable that people is like, okay, but don't talk about it because we don't want to get them riled up. Or don't talk about it because we don't want to make her mad. But who is protecting the kids? Where do we start to protect our children first?
Well, I at first didn't want to tell nobody because my grandfather who raised me is 72 years old. However, his youngest child is 18, so he still was making babies when this happened.
Right.
And I didn't want to tell him, and he stressing about it, like, where was I? How can I let this happen? And he put himself in a stroke. I will be so mad at myself if that happened. And my grandmother told me that it's happening. He's stopping her in the house. So where was I when? And that bothers me. Because it was my release to get it off my chest, off my shoulders, that weight. But now the weight it's affecting my grandfather, who I love so much. And I knew if I would have told him, if I had the strength and the courage, he would have looked his ass.
And I think just as a parent, like, you gonna beat yourself down if that happen because when simple things happen to your kids, you be like, well, where I was at? How did I miss this? How did I miss this? So something so delicate like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, for that to happen, it's gonna be like, man, how did I miss that? Like, this is my baby. Like, if nobody else protect my child, I have to protect my child. So how did I miss this? And I think it's like at times, like when it's signs, it's the signs sometimes parents don't see or they don't ignore it. But if my child coughed wrong, what happened? You got wet today? Like,
but even playing devil's advocate, because at times kids can do such a good job at hiding these things. And as parents, I don't want a parent who is experiencing this or a parent who has gone through this to beat themselves down and feel that it's all on me, because it's not. It's other factors, because we can't protect our child. I can't guard you from the world. I have to just trust to know that I'm giving you all the views, all the values that you need to really, or instilling those values in you to go off and be a good person, to go off and do great things. I cannot live in fear trying to protect you from everything. So how, I don't want any parent who has experienced this, let us be clear. It is avenues, and it is
Right.
resources out there to assist you guys, because the kids
You have
go
to
through
cope
it,
as well.
but just the parents alone, like you said.
Yes.
The first question will come to my mind: where was I?
Where was
How
I?
could I have missed this?
And
And
nine
I-
times out of
Sometimes
ten,
people who don't go
those-
through it, they don't understand,
understand.
and they would not see it. You know, so therefore, like how you say with your child, you experienced, so you know what to do and how to approach the situation. So for me, like I was in an abusive relationship as a teenager, and I would know what signs to look for in my daughter. But if somebody never experienced that as a young age, they wouldn't know what to look for,
Right.
what signs, or you know, your child could be depressed, and your child could literally show you without even having to show you that they're depressed.
Right.
But it's all in how
You
would
see.
you look for
Yes.
them? Yeah. You have
And,
to
and
look
that's
for
as
those
simple as
things.
parenting skills in general. Because let's say if I was a mother of 4 girls, this is my 4 kids, I can't parent them the same. Let's be honest.
Yes.
You
Be
cannot,
honest,
and,
yes.
and it's a lot of parents that's confused, and they think that, oh, this one on this one and this one is bad because these 2 are good. No, they're not good and they're not bad. It's just the fact that your skill of parenting might work with their operating and how they learn. And your skill of parenting, the way that you parent might don't work for these 2. You might have to try another avenue, and you have to treat every individual case accordingly.
Case by case basis.
Case by case basis, because you never know what your kid. Just last week we tapped in, how do we help kids identify who they want to be, or help them identify their goals and their dreams.
Or
Some
even
parents are
identify
trying
their
to
kids.
realize, how do I identify that my kid need help?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's a big
Yes.
deal. So the topic was something that needs to be said. Period. You know what I'm saying? And what we're doing here, we're not here to bash anybody. We're trying to find an avenue and find a way to help change cycles that have been swept under the rug for so
For
long.
years, especially in
generational
black
curses.
Generational
Yes,
curses.
especially in black families. We as black women, we have to take that burden off ourselves and
Yeah.
understand that, look, I'm going to give my child all I got. At the end of the day, Cartier, I'm her mom. So I'm all she got. And I'm going to do the best that I can to give her and to teach her how to come to me, to feel safe to come to me. I want to keep that open communication. But the reality is, life happens.
Right.
You know, you
Daily.
can't, you
Right.
manage like we're managing like daily, plug. So to be in that space, how? And I want to ask y'all, because this is our safe space. Where do we start, y'all? How do we start?
And I think another thing, just to piggyback before we get there, like a lot of times when those situations happen, it's somebody you trust.
Yeah.
There's trusting around the family. So, and like you said, don't beat yourself down because it's somebody I trust you.
Right.
Because I done built this trust with you over the years, and I would never believe. I'm pretty sure that probably was. I'm not saying it's your situation.
The situation got crazy because when I told my cousin first, and he's older than me, he's in his late 30s, and we close. He said, that's funny because your mother did that to me. Now it's getting deeper.
Right.
And then when I confronted,
Generational.
and then when I confronted my uncle, he was telling me about, well, Christopher did this to me. That's your brother. I never met him. That's my grandfather's other child, but I never met him. Hurt people hurt people.
They do.
That's true.
People hurt people.
But I can tell you, I despise that. I hate if I could kill every pedophile, I would. If I could kill him right now, I would. But I forgive him. But I can't forget it, and that's what I'm dealing with now. That's my mental illness right now. It keeps repeating in my head.
And that's what I'm, not to cut you off, that's what I want to say. You say, you know how you say hurt people, and you say you don't have that in you to hurt others, but you was hurting yourself.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And that's what we have to realize. We hurt ourselves.
Definitely.
We hurt ourselves to prevent from hurting the people that hurt us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that, like, damn, I want to cry
Trying
because
to spare their
it's
feelings.
an everyday struggle. You know what I'm saying? And women, we go through so fucking
struggle.
much.
And
Yes.
how did you
Yes.
cope with that
Right.
for all those years?
How
Like,
are
what
you
made you?
coping?
That's the
Because
word.
it's
That's the
every
word.
day.
Because you did it for
Coping.
so long.
I was angry. I was always by myself. Like I used to stay. So how my grandparents' house was, the basement was a room, like a little apartment without a kitchen. I'll go upstairs to eat and wash clothes, but I would never come up. Like when I'm coming up the stairs, my grandparents are saying, "Oh, she's coming up for air," because I'm always downstairs.
Right.
I just stayed away from everybody. I didn't go to any homecoming dances. I played basketball in high school, but I didn't want to do anything in high school with nobody. No prom. I didn't even walk
You
across
didn't
the stage
trust
for my
people.
graduation. I just went and picked up my
It was
diploma.
a trust.
I just didn't want to be around people. I felt like people were always looking at me funny
Yeah.
and making me feel very uncomfortable. Now, I'm still coping because when I spoke to him, wasn't prepared for what he was about to say, and he said that I will say sorry. I let you listen to this, right? I will say sorry, but it'll be hollow because I don't remember. However, I knew I did some inappropriate things, and that crushed me because I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you don't remember, but you knew you did inappropriate things? Now that hurt me. Like, I went off on him after that. And the fact that you said, oh, you're going to call and talk to me, you're talking to my uncle, you need to talk to me.
Right.
You didn't hurt my cousin. Why are you talking to him? You need to talk to me. I need this closure. And he did not give it to me. And the last time I talked to him was Christmas Eve. I think one of those.
Did you think that you actually need closure from him to get
That
closure?
was my kind
I
of
was
question.
really expecting an apology, and I'm sorry if I ruined your life, because I felt like he ruined my life with men.
Well, that would have made a difference.
To me, it would have made me feel better, because right now I'm like, it's hollow. What do you mean hollow?
And but you know that can be something that you giving yourself false hope. It could be another self-sabotaging action because you're giving someone else your power now. You saying I'm lifeless, but if you tell me I'm sorry, you're sorry, I'll feel better. No, it won't, because that was fucking wrong. Period. And you were a child, you didn't understand. Now that you're an adult, you're trying to cope with it and you're trying to deal with it, and it's nothing you need from him. Whatever you need, it comes from within. You know what I'm saying? And you have to let that be your closure, because no one is going to give you what you want.
I think one of the hardest things though, like, is forgiving somebody who you don't think should be forgiven, but you have to remember, like,
and
forgiveness is
but to me, and they do, because trust me, I understand. I was there before. You know what I'm saying? Don't cry.
I'm a hugger.
She definitely is a hugger.
So, and that's the only thing about it, because it traumatizes us and it shuts us down. You know what I'm saying? And I can speak from that level because certain things has happened to me. But I'm trying to put myself in a situation to where it's not constantly defeating me. Because of the anger, that's only a fucking false shield. That's a false shield. You're a beautiful woman. You don't need to be angry.
And one of the things I do want to identify is grief.
Yes.
Everybody deals with grief differently.
Yes.
So one of the things that I do want to tell you, and I am a social worker, so I mean the best advice I can give to you is grieve however you need to grieve.
Yes.
We can't sit here and tell you
how
to be
to
over it.
right.
I can't sit here and tell you don't cry. I can't sit here and tell you don't want that validation, because we all grieve differently. But what I can say, and what we are trying to say to you is, you ain't gonna do nothing but hurt yourself over and over and over again, expecting this man to give you something that you don't even need.
Right. He's not gonna give it to you.
You are in control of your emotions. I can't piss you off, but you could get pissed off by something I did or said, but I can't do it. But it's okay. It's a process. It's a process, and that's why we here. This is safe.
And I'm big on, and they'll tell you always say that just because somebody gives you energy, you don't have to receive it.
Right.
You don't have to receive it. And the thing is, let me tell you, people like that, it's a chemical imbalance. They're mentally ill, and I'm not taking up for him in any kind of way. What I can say is, he's never going to see his fault. So don't beat yourself down because he won't see his fault. Mari has to be accountable. All right, Mari. Okay, he's not going to see it. That's fine. God, I forgive him.
And that's
So,
it.
God, I forgive him.
Last year when you relieved that and you brought that to light, what you really did was change or set yourself up for a change of generational curses.
Yes.
That's what you did. When you brought that to light,
And
you said no more. You said not my kids.
You took that control back. The control he had, you snatched that back when you communicated and you were able to express what you did to me. And I'm going to tell the world what you did to me, because now I've let it go. But if you're going to truly let it go, let it go. Right. You know, and we can't tell you when or how to do it.
It's going to take
on
time.
your time.
It's going to take time.
But identify that I've taken these steps, so I'm in a good space. I'm doing the work that people out there, they don't even know where to start. So you are now on this platform, probably giving somebody out there the hope that they need, that encouragement that they need to tell their truth. So I think it's
like that. And everything will be on your timing. You know what I'm saying? So like, you probably be, and I know sometimes we are our own worst critics. I am my own worst
Yes.
critic. So you probably be on something like, I should have been said something. No, it was on God's time.
Right.
Yes.
And
It was-
then people be asking like, why you didn't say nothing? And I hate that question because it's not that easy.
Right.
It's hard.
It is.
It's not.
And we are.
It is not easy to talk
it's
about.
It's not.
At all.
It's an uncomfortable thing. And with that being said, you guys, like, little do you know, just you opening up to your truth and sharing them here with us. If we looking for solutions, any parent out there that's wondering, where do I start to seek signs? You go to check in. What she said, isolation.
Yep.
She said anger.
Yes.
She said bitterness, like all those different things that you
Not wanting
end up
to be
not
social,
wanting to
right.
be sociable. It's a
At a
reason
young
why
age.
a beautiful child don't want to spread her wings and be a butterfly. She's afraid to fly because if this happened inside,
Right.
what will happen outside?
Right. I'm
That's a
fearful of
fear
that.
in its own.
And let me say, because you just made me think of something. So before that took place, were you like a lively child? You was always.
Oh, I was happy. My grandma have scrapbooks of me just smiling, even though I got small teeth.
But they
straight
but
up.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but I'm saying that to go back to what Chris said. When you know the signs, if you know your child been like this for years, and all of a sudden you start seeing the changes, I was just referring it back to the signs of things. That's why I asked you, how were you before?
Right.
I was happy. I was happy. And now looking back at it, man, it did make me change.
Right.
Because I was 9, he was 16. So he was a
Right.
bitch.
Call him, girl. Call him how you see it.
But on a serious
Get a
note,
picture,
man,
Brian,
I swear to
girl.
God, like, you are a strong black woman.
Yes.
And I just, if no
Takes
one
a lot
ever
of
told you,
courage.
thank you.
And if you are
Thank
beautiful,
you. Yes.
and I don't want you to shelter yourself or to dim your light because
Yes.
you are fearful that someone is not able to love you properly. It is somebody out there who is looking for exactly what you're looking for, and it's going to be
Yes.
okay.
And love
You have
yourself.
to trust. And it starts there. You can't love anybody until you truly love yourself.
Self-love.
So when we get off this camera, of course we gonna talk because this is a safe space. This is what daily life management is all about. We laughing and we joke,
Yes.
but this is why we're doing this.
Yes. So we just want to say, if any of you or anyone out there knows someone who's experiencing traumatizing issues, please reach out. There's so many resources out there available. Just pick up the phone, tell someone, let it be known it's not your fault.
It's not sure.
So
And
thank you
make sure
guys.
y'all, if y'all have any, not to cut you off, if y'all have any questions, email us
Yes.
those questions. If you
Right.
want to talk and y'all want to tap in with us, and if you're looking for a safe space,
Yes.
email us. And I mean, it is confidential. You don't have to say your
Yes.
name. If you want to, you can. Please, y'all, reach out. That's
And
what
with
we're
that
here
being said, our email is dailylifemanagements@gmail.com. Message us on Instagram at ManageLifeDaily.
This is a safe space.
Yes. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate
you.
everyone. Thank you, Mari, for sharing your
Yes.
story. You are powerful. You gave women power.
It's
just
a platform.
You gave yourself
I-
power.